friends. It is stunning out here today. I am not sure what the day holds. I have a lot of things that I should be doing today, but I just wanted to step out here a little, listen to the birds sing. The fog is magical this morning. So we have a lot to do this week. We have tons of outdoor work still waiting on us, and it's been feeling just a little bit overwhelming. I would like to be a little further along in all of this than I actually am, but it's okay. We're gonna roll up our sleeves and hopefully knock out a lot of things. I don't have it all planned what order. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of weeds in front of me. There's my couple pieces of laundry I left out in the rain last night, and it is what it is. But it's a beautiful day, and I'm choosing to see the beauty in it. So why don't we start off with planting some tomato plants? This is what my tomato plants are looking like right now. Some of them are bending down. I am gonna have to stake all of them up probably immediately. They are way too big for the containers that they are in. But what my plan is this year, you see this little arch here behind me, and we built this originally for cucumbers, and that's what we've planted there the last number of years really. But we've been having a lot of trouble with cucumber beetles, I think they're called, just destroying my cucumber plants. So this year I am planting those elsewhere. I hope we get to that today, but we'll see. We have some arches, cool arbors coming out here soon, so we'll see when we get to that. But this year I planted onions in this side of the trellis, which is supposed to really help with beetles. So I'm hoping to get them away. They say that if you're having trouble with beetles, the only way to get rid of them is to plant cucumbers elsewhere. So hopefully in at least a year or two we can get back to planting the cucumbers here, because I do love them and they're really easy to pick when they hang out of the arch. But I thought for this year, I'm gonna plant cherry tomatoes on this arch. So that is the plan. We'll see if they get destroyed or not. I have a lot of tomato plants, so we're not counting on just these arch tomatoes, obviously. But I think that's what I'm gonna get started. And then actually in the other box, on the other side of the arch, I'm also planning to fill with tomatoes, as well as probably 2 other boxes. I am very curious, by the way, if you garden, how many tomato plants do you plant? Because I am blown away by how many tomatoes we use, especially in all the canning. Okay, zoomed out so you can see what's actually going on here. You see lots of weeds down here in the ground. They are super easy to pull because there is landscape fabric underneath, but we still have some growing up. It's just inevitable that some dirt gets on the rocks and weeds start growing. So kind of my way of attack for this has been whatever box I'm planting, I'll pull weeds around that box, so that hopefully once the entire garden is planted, the weeds are also pretty much demolished. So that's what we're gonna do first, and then we'll actually get into the bed, which is also full of weeds right now, but that's another story. Well, turns out, joke's on me, these are not a box full of weeds. I was like, that's so weird that there's one box with all these, like, way more weeds than everything else. They're not weeds. They're actually hundreds of tomato plants coming up from my tomatoes last year. Here, let me show you. Anyone want tomato starts? I feel terrible throwing them all out. The thing is, if they're that close together, we're not getting any tomatoes. They'll be way too crowded. for the summer, and you can tell they are very happy about it. Yeah. One of the truthfully many things we have not got done this spring yet is pruning the raspberries. They are now budding. You can see tiny little raspberries coming, and this has not been pruned, so it's a wild mess. So it's a little too late to actually go in and prune like I normally would. So I just got the hedge trimmer, and I'm just gonna like basically shape them up and hope for the best. All right, I think it's time to take a little break from all that work. And I say break because we actually need to plant a ton of sweet corn after dinner tonight. But for dinner, I thought it would be really fun to make a sourdough rhubarb meringue pie. Never made it before, but I am excited to. And then I think we'll have that with smashed potatoes and meatloaf for dinner tonight. Sounds delicious to me. So let's go get some rhubarb.
You are my shelter from the storm. You keep me safe inside your wings. You are my comfort when life gets hard.
questions about where in the world I got my rolling pin, if I can link it, all the things. Unfortunately, I cannot link it. My grandma made this for me a couple years before she passed away, and I definitely hold it near and dear to my heart. I use it so much, and it's always such a sweet reminder to me of my grandma, and I miss her so much. I don't have a link for you because of that, but it's definitely a very well made piece, and I absolutely love it. For the meatloaf, I literally do pretty much the exact same thing I would do when I'm making burgers. I'm gonna try to kind of talk you through it, but I don't have measurements. So if you want to try it, I mean, first of all, there's of course plenty of meatloaf recipes around. Meatloaf is no novelty, but play around with flavors and like amounts is my biggest recommendation. I have about 2 pounds of ground beef here. I'm gonna add 2 eggs. Now I would like to add 2 more, but I need to save eggs for my meringue today. So I guess I could do the yolks. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm gonna separate my eggs and add the yolks to this and the whites for my meringue. And then I'm gonna put in a little bit of milk, some ketchup adds good flavor. Breadcrumbs, I just grab, I usually have some sourdough on hand. If it's a day or 2 old is great. And I actually have a loaf here. I just literally take out the inside because that's what I can crumble well, and I'll put that in here, give the crust to the chickens. You can also use rolled oats for this part, but I prefer breadcrumbs. And I'm gonna put in some salt, minced garlic. I would love to also add onion. I don't have onions right now, so I'm making do with what I have. And then I'm gonna put in a little bit of pizza seasoning. Mix this all together. I've been thinking today about the title of my video, really, creating everyday beauty. I had some things in mind that I wanted to film for this video, and then I was thinking today, wow, like the majority of what I'm doing is actually just a lot of hard, kind of tedious, dirty work. And does that even fit the description of creating everyday beauty? You would think more of like, you know, relaxing picnics in the freshly mowed grass, or maybe sourdough chocolate croissants, or, you know, you think of actual beautiful things, right? Beautiful everyday moments, and those things do happen, and they are so beautiful when they do happen. But it got me thinking of so much of creating beauty in our homes is actually a lot of hard work. Often the preparation of what will become beautiful is really dirty. Gardens and flower beds and yards in general being a prime example of that. If you don't take care of the weeds when they start, there's unfortunately not much chance of actually having a beautiful yard as the summer progresses. And I think that's kind of applicable to a lot of areas in our lives. Good things take time. Building good character takes work. It doesn't just happen without a lot of work, and in today's case, even dirty work. So I hope that if nothing else, you take away that reminder today that all these like mundane, laborious, dirty work even that you are doing today truly is making a difference for the future. Sometimes that can look like working outside like we did today. Sometimes that can look like making a giant mess in the kitchen or changing dirty diapers. But all of those little things actually really do matter, and I am right there in the trenches with you and cheering you on. Yeah, I'll just call Daddy. Egg whites, yeah. For my sauce for the meatloaf, I am just mixing together some ketchup, barbecue sauce, and maple syrup. How about this big one right here? Windy out here, but what we're trying to do is set up the arch there for the climbing roses. I'm gonna have to try to wiggle my way in, and I think we're gonna also make them a little bit shorter. Josh is gonna cut them in the shop now. They're super tall right now, so they'll still be probably, I don't know, 7-8 feet tall even with the cut. And then I think we're also gonna replace the one that had the cucumbers there, so the one we have there right now, so that they match up and should be a big improvement. Got the arch up, and I have a ton more, kind of more of the same of what you've been seeing in today's video. Lots of weeding, lots of garden work, a couple of things inside, but I think I'll sign off here so I can just kind of knock it off a little quicker than moving the camera around everywhere. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you were inspired, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, friends.
Golden, golden thing.